Earlier in today's show, we saw how plumbing professionals came together to solve a heating and hot water challenge for the State Line YMCA in Beloit. New boilers, shower heads, and indirect hot water tanks were installed to meet the needs of the Y and increase their energy efficiency. Now let's catch up with Eric Steinhoff from Alpine Plumbing to check out some kitchen and bath remodeling that needed to get done in just one day.
Hey Stu, we're at Riverview Heights in Janesville, Wisconsin. It's a 123 unit apartment building that we're doing a renovation on.
And as I understand it, this is one of Cardinal Capital's many projects where they're really investing in our communities. They're revitalizing each apartment in these different buildings, and really you're focusing in on the plumbing aspects.
Yeah, we've done roughly 800 units across the state in the last couple of years. It's a great project. 800
units over a couple of years, so you're doing several units a day, it would seem to me.
Yeah, we're doing a minimum of 2, sometimes up to 5 units per day.
And you're the plumber on the project, but you're probably working with carpenters and other trades as well?
We are. We're working with carpenters, flooring guys, sometimes electricians, depending on the units.
Boy, that must present a challenge in itself. A lot of communication must go in. If you're doing, say you're doing, in this instance, 2 or 3 a day, you can't all be in there at once.
No, people live in these units, so we have to be in and out in a day. So we go in there, take the plumbing fixtures out. There's new cabinetry that goes in, there's new flooring that goes in, and the plumbing fixtures have to be put back in by the end of the day.
Well, you know, being that it's an apartment, you don't have a whole lot of room, but can we go in there and take a look at what you're doing?
We can. Stu, this is a bathroom that we started this morning, and as you can see, we're just about done.
Wow, I'm amazed how quickly you can do it. And when we talk about tight quarters, this is extremely tight. I can't imagine all the trades working at one time in here, so I can see why it needs to be choreographed. So take us through exactly what you were able to accomplish today.
So this morning, first thing we came in here, we tore the toilet out, the vanity, and the marble top. The flooring guy comes in here, redoes the floor, and then we come back and set new fixtures.
And you know, I can see the challenge of working, again, amongst the different trades, the tight quarters, but do you run into some other challenges when you're doing units like this?
Different materials, sometimes cast iron, sometimes ABS, sometimes PVC, and you have to have a lot of materials with you. You have to be able to adapt on the run.
And of course, we're talking about plumbing here, so it's all under the state codes you have to follow, so training's important, but it seems like training and experience is equally important because you're running into all these different situations and materials.
Definitely. You have to be up on the code on how you can adapt to different materials. You do continuing education.
Sure. And a willingness to learn, that's for sure. Really, when you look at what you're doing here, isn't unlike residential remodeling. I think of at my own home or something, if I want to change a stool out or a faucet. On the surface, it looks like it'd be an easy job to do, but if anybody's ever tried to tackle that, sometimes you can bite off more than you chew. You open a whole can of worms and you end up calling a professional plumber in. Do you get those calls?
We do. We definitely do. And typically when we get those calls, there's a mess. So
probably more expensive than for the homeowner. In fairness to you, you have to fix what was done incorrectly before you can do it right.
That's correct.
Okay, so in this particular unit, you did the lab, you did the stool. Are you making some of them ADA compliant by changing out the tubs?
Yes, some of the units we're taking out the tubs and putting a shower in with grab bars and a handheld.
And then you're also doing some kitchens.
And we're doing some kitchens as well.
Let's go take a look at some of those.
Stu, here's a kitchen that we remodeled. It's all brand new cabinets, new flooring, new sink, new countertops, new appliances. We came in here, took everything out. Basically, you have a shell. Put everything back in one day.
Wow, that's just amazing. All the different trades that are involved in that. And here's the kitchen. We saw the bathroom before. The neat thing to me is that you're working on residential here, but you could also the next day be doing commercial.
Yeah, you visited the Modern site. It's a high-rise. One day we could be working on the Modern. Next day we could be here working on an apartment unit, a house, a hospital, something different all the time. With the training at Local 75, the apprenticeship that we go through, we're trained to do all different sorts of work.
You know, I have to ask you about the sense of pride that you must feel, because whenever I talk to a plumber or anybody in the trades, it seems like there's a genuine sense of pride when you're driving through a neighborhood or a community and you say, hey, I helped build that building.
Yeah, when we're out driving around with a family, sometimes it's like, I worked on this project or this project. It makes the day a lot of fun. It's great.
Well, I appreciate you coming on today's show and showing us a behind-the-scenes look at the apartment complex, but I think all the viewers can easily relate what we saw in today's show to their own homes.
Thanks, Stu. Appreciate it.
Now here are some key points to help summarize today's show. If your home or building is running out of hot water, or you think it's costing too much to heat, contact a plumbing contractor for a complete review of your system. Next, plumbers prefer to work with products they can stand behind, and in most cases, they buy them from a professional wholesaler. So know where your fixtures are purchased from and understand what their warranties include. Finally, the best plumbing products can become the worst when they're not properly installed. So be sure to hire a contractor with well-trained plumbers who know and follow the state plumbing code. Well, we're all out of time for this week's show. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you again next time on Today's Home Remodeler.
For more information about today's topic and upcoming episodes of Today's Home Remodeler, please visit these websites. The preceding program was sponsored by the Today's Home Remodeler television network.